She was an actress with big potential. Then Brittany Murphy died young. Well, now a new HBO Max documentary is looking into the star's troubled final years.
Brittany, please come back.
She's a Scorpio. What else do you need to know?
I'm a double Scorpio.
Double Scorpio.
She evidently collapsed in the bathroom.
Ashton Kutcher just turned on Diddy, and he is allegedly ready to provide proof of Diddy's involvement in Brittany Murphy's unaliving. Guys, ever since word of the feds looking into reopening Brittany's case started going around, it has not been looking good for Diddy. Now to make it worse, one of his closest friends is rumored to be in the process of rating him out. You guys better grab your seats because what I am about to tell you is going to shock you.
During a little dip she was having, he came along. And I think that's where her judgment was muddled and she became prey.
Simon said that he was the largest collector of Vermeer, dated Elle Macpherson and Madonna. He said that he had been dying from terminal brain cancer and that he had bought an experimental treatment derived from the fins of sharks. Every single word out of his mouth was a lie.
We all were scared and freaked out. Like, who was this guy?
Once they got married, they were holed up in that house 24/7.
Nobody got close to her.
Last one, guys.
Okay, for now, focus here for a minute. Don't worry, their drama will keep going on. Think a little about yourself too. An Indonesian scientist has uncovered a shocking truth about belly fat, and it has nothing to do with diet or exercise. 95% of people who tried this strange bedtime ritual lost 25 pounds or more. Some even dropped over 50, all while sleeping. No gym, no starving, just one simple step before bed. It sounds crazy, but it's backed by science. Tap the link in the description and see for yourself.
Now, Diddy has been all over the headlines ever since his arrest last September, and the details coming out have only gotten darker. So far, the music mogul has been hit with a laundry list of serious charges, including trafficking, racketeering, transporting individuals for the purpose of prostitution, and forced labor under inhumane conditions. And with his trial just having officially kicked off this month, things are only heating up. More and more alleged victims continue to come forward, and people are combing through Diddy's past with a magnifying glass, trying to piece together any red flags they may have missed, especially when it comes to the people he surrounded himself with. And one name that keeps popping up is none other than Ashton Kutcher. Now, if you just woke up today, you might not immediately associate Ashton with Diddy, but the two have actually been close for years despite Ashton's shift in attitude towards Diddy after his arrest. According to OK Magazine, their friendship goes all the way back to the early 2000s, and they apparently hit it off instantly. Ashton even talked about their early days on a 2019 episode of Hot Ones, where he admitted their relationship was really bizarre. He said it all started because of Punk'd. Diddy told him, "Yo, you can't punk me." And Ashton responded, "I don't know what to tell you. Everybody is on the table." That exchange kicked off their friendship, and from there they apparently started hanging out regularly, even watching football together. But now, with Diddy's legal situation under intense scrutiny, people are definitely side-eyeing the company he kept, especially given that for years, Diddy and Ashton have constantly been linked to Brittany Murphy's sudden and strange death. You see, Brittany's sudden and tragic death in 2009 sent shockwaves through Hollywood, but to this day, there are still way too many unanswered questions about what really happened. According to reports, Brittany collapsed in the bathroom of the home she shared with her husband Simon Monjack and her mother Sharon Murphy. When things spiraled out of control, it was Sharon who eventually called 911, and Brittany was rushed to Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles, but heartbreakingly, she never made it.
Fire Department 97, what's the address of the emergency?
1895 Rising Glen Road.
What's the phone number you're calling from? Tell me exactly what happened.
Oh, somebody's passed out.
Somebody what?
My daughter's passed out. We're doing mouth to mouth. Please get here quick,
okay.
please.
Okay, all right, we're going to. How old is your daughter?
She's 30. Please hurry.
She's 30?
The official story at the time was that Brittany died from pneumonia, but honestly, that explanation has never sat right with a lot of people. Friends of Brittany later came forward claiming she had confided in them that she felt like she was being watched. And even more chilling, she suspected she was being slowly poisoned. And as if that wasn't creepy enough, there are disturbing parallels between Brittany's death and the 2018 death of Kim Porter, Diddy's ex and the mother of 3 of his children. Just like Brittany, Kim Porter also reportedly told people close to her that she feared for her life in the weeks leading up to her death. And guess what? The LA County coroner ruled her cause of death as lobar pneumonia too. The exact same thing is listed on Brittany's autopsy. Are we really supposed to believe that 2 young, seemingly healthy women just happened to die of the same rare type of pneumonia while both fearing for their lives? Because a lot of people think that's just way too much of a coincidence. What's even more suspicious is that Kim Porter was allegedly working on a tell-all book and was reportedly getting ready to expose some major dirt on Diddy, possibly even cooperating with the feds. And then suddenly she dies under mysterious circumstances. Anyway, Brittany's husband Simon Monjack didn't even want an autopsy done, which raised a lot of eyebrows. Legally, he couldn't stop it, so the coroner went ahead anyway and eventually ruled her death as accidental, citing pneumonia, anemia, and multiple drug intoxication as contributing factors. But even that didn't bring closure, especially since Simon himself died just a few months later, also from pneumonia and anemia in the exact same house. But here's where things start getting seriously weird. According to ABC News, the coroner's office actually refused to disclose what substances were found in Brittany Murphy's system at first, which only fueled more suspicion. Her husband Simon was quick to downplay everything in an interview with People, claiming she was only on some herbal remedies, period meds, and cough syrup. Nothing dangerous, nothing that could have sped up her heart, but fans weren't buying it. Something just felt off. And it didn't help that Brittany's mom, Sharon, backed up Simon's version of events, insisting that Brittany never did drugs or even drank alcohol. Sharon initially floated the idea that her daughter may have had an undiagnosed heart condition, but what really made everyone raise their eyebrows was the fact that Brittany had apparently been saying for weeks before her death that she felt like she was being poisoned. Yes, poisoned. And it gets even more disturbing. Brittany was reportedly paranoid, telling friends that she was scared someone was out to get her. She had even gone so far as to install fingerprint recognition locks and CCTV cameras in her home. That's not something you do unless you're genuinely scared for your life. And then the mold theory popped up. After Brittany died, there were whispers about the Hollywood Hills home being infested with toxic mold. Both Simon and Sharon suddenly claimed that maybe that's what killed her. But here's the thing, when investigators asked to do mold testing to confirm it, they refused. If they truly believed mold was to blame, why block the inspection? It just doesn't make sense. And guess what? Pathologist Dr. Richard Shepard straight up dismissed the mold theory anyway, saying there was no evidence of fungi in Brittany's lungs or bloodstream. So that's out. But Brittany's intense fear of being poisoned? That's still very much on the table, and it paints a terrifying picture. You see, in her final months, she reportedly became increasingly paranoid, avoiding food and drinks from certain places because she believed someone was trying to harm her. She even told close friends that powerful people in Hollywood were watching her, people with bad intentions. And don't get me started on her husband, the walking at the center of this whole thing. He was older, controversial, and frankly, gave off all the wrong vibes. They met when Brittany was just 17, and his reputation was already riddled with red flags. There were accusations of fraud, manipulation, and just general shady behavior. A lot of Brittany's friends were convinced he was taking advantage of her. And looking back, it's hard not to wonder if they were right.
Now the HBO documentary, What Happened, Brittany Murphy, alleges Monjack was a con artist and contributed to her death. Brittany's friend, actress Kathy Najimy, appears in the documentary.
During a little dip she was having, he came along. And I think that's where her judgment was muddled and she became prey. We all were scared and freaked out. Like, who was this guy?
And there's this shocking claim.
Simon said that he dated Elle Macpherson and Madonna. He said that he had been dying from terminal brain cancer and that he had bought an experimental treatment derived from the fins of sharks. Every single word out of his mouth was a lie.
Their relationship was strange, isolating, and possibly dangerous. And let's not forget, he died just 5 months after Brittany in the exact same house under eerily similar circumstances. Pneumonia and anemia again. You guys, there's just too much here that doesn't add up. From the secrecy to the paranoia to the matching causes of death. Whatever was going on behind closed doors, it wasn't just some tragic accident. Something darker was clearly at play. Okay, pause for a second and really think about this. What are the chances, seriously, that two relatively healthy adults living under the same roof both drop dead from the same thing just months apart? Like, hello? That's not just tragic, it's insanely suspicious. And when that whole maybe it was mold theory got shut down, oh, that's when things took a dark and twisted turn. Fast forward a few years, Brittany Murphy's father, Angelo Bertolotti, wasn't buying the official story. He went rogue and hired a private lab to dig deeper, and y'all, what they found, chilling. Guys, we're talking sky-high levels of heavy metals in Brittany's hair, like the kind you'd find in rat poison or insecticide. And get this, Angelo straight up said he believed his daughter was murdered. But wait, why didn't the original autopsy find any of this? According to experts, the coroner's office didn't even test for poisoning because, get this, no one suggested it, except Brittany had literally told people she was scared of being poisoned. She was begging to be taken seriously, and no one listened. Now toss in the fact that Sharon and Simon, yes, her mom and husband were blocking investigations left and right, doesn't just smell fishy, it reeks of a full-blown cover-up. And Brittany's mom, who lived with them and claimed to be super close to her daughter, her behavior after Brittany's death had people whispering nonstop. Rumors started flying that after Brittany died, Sharon and Simon got way too close for comfort, like weirdly close. And then boom, Simon dies too, and Sharon immediately sells the house and drops the whole mold theory like it never existed. No calls for deeper investigation, no pushing for answers, just poof, it's done. I mean, if your daughter died under totally bizarre circumstances, wouldn't you demand the truth? Why wasn't she screaming for justice? And this is where the Hollywood tea boils over. Some fans believe Sharon and Simon were hiding something major, but others think Brittany had even more powerful enemies. Allegedly, Brittany was blacklisted for refusing to play along with the whole Hollywood game. You know, the one that supposedly included Diddy's infamous freak-off parties? Yeah, that Diddy. So how was Brittany connected to all that? Well, let's remember her whirlwind romance with Ashton Kutcher. They started dating in 2002 after filming Just Married, and rumor had it they were engaged because they were spotted wearing matching rings. But plot twist, they split after just 5 months. And why? Allegedly, Ashton cheated on Brittany with none other than Demi Moore, who, guess what, was also reportedly a guest at Diddy's parties. And y'all, the timeline is shady AF. Ashton went public with Demi right after he and Brittany broke up. Like, what are the chances? But buckle up, it gets even darker. There's fresh speculation that Brittany, just like Kim Porter, may have found out too much about what really went down at those parties. Word on the street is that Brittany got her hands on some explosive evidence about Diddy and Ashton's alleged activities. And yes, there are anonymous sources claiming they've taken this info straight to the feds. Could Brittany have uncovered something so damaging that it made her a target? Was she silenced? Let me know your opinion in the comments, because this rabbit hole goes deep.